Okay, so for this very simple seasonal look, I've already primed and cleaned my face and used moisturizer. I'm going to start with my Sephora foundation, and I'm going to use my Sephora Airbrush foundation brush. I'm just going to take this off of my hand and buff it into the skin. I know it looks like a lot of foundation, but the nice thing is it's very little, and it's very lightweight. The trick to this is when you're using the airbrush brush to use circular motions and really blend it in. I'm not doing a lot underneath my eyes because I'm going to go in with concealer later. Make sure that you do everything on your face, underneath your chin, down your neck, and even by your ears. There's nothing worse than that makeup line that you see on some women. I'm going to go with my NARS concealer. It's a shade lighter than my foundation, and that's done on purpose to give some depth. As you can see, my eyes are very puffy and red, so this is just a little trick to help stop that. About to look a little crazy here because I'm going to do a baking technique. So just apply that in a triangle around your eyes, and then do a line down the bridge of your nose and just below the hollows of your cheek, on your cupid's bow, on your chin, and a little bit on your forehead as well. If you're finding that you have some small blemishes or freckles or anything that you want to cover, put those on that area as well. Now I'm going to take my beauty blender and I'm going to use my matte Prep and Prime spray. MAC, sorry, not matte, MAC Prep and Prime spray. I'm just going to dampen the sponge a little bit. You don't want it wet, just damp. And then you're going to use it to blend out that concealer. You get no brush marks this way, and it blends it out beautifully so it's seamless, so you don't have this weird little triangle concealer mark on your face, but you still get the same illusion of doing a big long contouring without having to go through all the work. Just do it to all the areas that you applied the concealer to. Next, I'm going to look crazy. So I'm going in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder and a normal makeup sponge. I'm sure we all have these. I'm going to load the sponge quite heavily with the translucent powder. I'm going to pack it on wherever I had that concealer put on. This is a technique called baking. So I'm going to apply this and leave it on for about 5-10 minutes. I usually do my eyes while I'm waiting for this to bake, and it really sets in a nice finish. All right, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I don't fuss a lot. I use a 2-in-1. It's just a brow pencil and gel in one. I'm not a big fan of plucking the hell out of my eyebrows or doing anything weird. So this is typically my brow routine. Nice and simple. I prefer the natural look when it comes to brows. All right, now I'm going in with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. You can also use Too Faced Primer or Urban Decay Primer Potion. This will help set your makeup for the evening. I chose to use the MAC one because I find it really holds a glitter eyeshadow a little bit better, and it doesn't move and smudge and crease as much. So go ahead and put that all over your eye, all over the lid, all over in the corner, and underneath your eye. Now I'm going to go in with my Basics palette, and I'm going to use Naked 2, and this is my transitional color. I'm so sorry, my autofocus broke. Just put that right above your socket and blend it out. That's to make a transition. Then I'm going to use my Makeup Forever palette, artist palette, and use that champagne color with a flat brush, and I'm going to pat that all over my eyelid. And I'm going to take the Naked Smoky palette and use the silver color, and I'm going to put that right over that transition color that I did before. Be really light-handed with this. You don't want to go too heavy. It's easier to add than to subtract. Now I'm going with the Basics palette and using Walk of Shame, and that's going to be my highlight brow color. This really finishes the look when you're doing your makeup. I forgot to record this part, but this is just me doing my black eyeliner. I was using the Stila Intense Black liquid eyeliner. I'm not putting anything on the bottom. I'm just putting a fairly dark, heavy line of liner right along my lash line. All right, zoom back out. Going back in with the Beauty Blender and a nude pencil. You can also use white. I do this when I don't put liner on the bottom of my eyes. It's a little trick to make your eyes look bigger. That nude liner, it I'm going to pull down with the Beauty Blender and put that nude liner right in my waterline. Now I'm going to use my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I'm not going to use any false lashes for this look because I want to keep it simple. Do the top and bottom. Now I'm going to go in with my MAC puffy brush, and I'm just going to flick away that powder. It sat there for a good 5-10 minutes already, and you don't want to buff it into your skin because that'll get it into the creases. You just want to flick it off. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with my Naked Flush palette. I'm going to use the bronzer first to contour. Then I'll be using the blush there to give the apples of my cheeks some puff. And then I'll use the highlighter that's just gorgeous. So I'm going to go with an angled brush, and a great little technique for this is to do it in a number 3 shape on your cheeks. So with the bronzer, you want to go just below your the hollow of your cheek and up your forehead and down your jawline. So if you look, that's pretty much like a number 3. And there you go. So start at the forehead, all the way down, and around to make the 3 shape. Now I'm going in with the MAC tapered brush, blush brush. I'm going to go in with that really pretty pink shade that I showed you earlier, and I'm focusing this on the apples of my cheeks. The idea behind blush is not to define your face, it's to bring out the highlights of your cheekbones. Now I'm going in with the shimmery color, so that's the highlighter, and that just goes right below your eye and a little bit on your Cupid's bow. This is what picks up in pictures to make you look that little bit more glamorous. Okay, now for lips. I'm going to use a red lip liner. This is a deep cherry red. The secret to great lips is red lips is to do it properly. Never put on red lipstick without putting on liner. I prefer to fill my entire lip with liner. I find it stays better, and I'll show you a trick to make it stay even longer in a minute. So now that I've got my lips almost completely filled up, I'm going to go in with my, oh, you don't fill in the little center part. Go in with your Marc Jacobs, my Marc Jacobs red. This is in Hal Rouge. And you're just going to wipe this all over just like you normally do. Be careful because you don't want it all over. Now to keep it longer, you're going to take a piece of Kleenex, some translucent powder, and a powder brush. And you're going to put the Kleenex over and dab your lips with that translucent powder through the Kleenex. And what that does is sets it and mattifies it. Now you just go back over to make the color true, and that lipstick will stay for hours. Now, I don't know about you, but I always seem to get it on my teeth, which is always so attractive. I'm going to show you a trick to help stop that from happening too. First, you're going to have to get rid of the lipstick off your teeth. And very attractive. Then you're going to take your finger and you're going to put it all the way in and pull it out. There you go. That gets it off the inside rim, and that's it. So let's start working on the hair. So my hair is second day hair, which is usually the best for curling. So what I do is I brush it out, make sure there's no tangles or knots, and I separate it into 2. So I'm just bringing half my hair onto either side. I'm going to take the first side and just use a little clip. There it is. I'm going to take a little clip and just clip off the one side of my hair to keep it out of the way while I'm working with the second side. Then I'm going to start sectioning the next part of my hair off. So I'm just taking fairly large chunks of hair. If you do it smaller, you get more intense curls, so you want to leave these sections a little bit big. I find the secret to this particular hairstyle is not to be too uniform with it. Some hairstyles call for you to use, 2-inch sections of hair each time. This one's pretty random. I'm using the tapered curling wand, and it's hot. So I'm using the tapered curling wand here. I think this is a 3/4 inch barrel down to a 1/2 inch barrel. So all you're going to do is take a section of your hair. Not exactly rocket science. I'm sure we've all curled our hair. Make sure you brush this out. Every time you grab a section, take the brush and make sure there's no knots. That makes the curl a little cleaner. And then you're going to point the barrel downwards. Get tangled up in the cord. Point it downwards, and you're going to wrap your hair around. Most wands come with a heat glove. If you have that, I definitely suggest using it, especially if you're not used to using it. I personally don't use it very often just for the simple fact that I find that the glove makes my hand slip and I'm just not as comfortable as I am with my hand. So you're going to leave that in for a few seconds, not very long at all. You don't want to fry your hair. I did apply a heat protectant spray. I just forgot to record that part. So before I brushed it out, I added a heat protectant spray. So you're just going to keep grabbing chunks of hair and wrapping them around the wand, always away from your face, never towards your face. This isn't the Shirley Temple do. This is definitely a soft and flowy look. So you want to make sure that you're curling away from your face. And then you're going to release the curl. Don't play around with the curls. This is where people go wrong. Don't play with them, especially when they're hot. Just let them cool off. Your curls will last much longer and you won't have to fight nearly as much. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit because it's going to take forever, but I'll speed up the camera for you and you can see what this looks like. Okay, so I've gone all the way around my head now. Now I'm just doing the front bang part. If your bangs are shorter, you may want to opt to do a side bang or straighten your bangs so that you can just have them gently side sweep. But if your bangs are just a little bit longer and you think you can do the wrap curl, I would do it this way. It definitely lends to that big hair Hollywood glam that we're looking for with this. So once you're done, you're going to end up with the big fat curl. Just set your curling iron aside, you're done with it, and you're going to go ahead and pin that back as well. Now just leave your hair alone. Go get changed, go put on some perfume, do whatever. Just leave the curls alone to cool. They'll hold a lot better and you'll have an easier time styling them if you do. All right, so I have glammed myself up, changed into my dress, and now I'm going to finish off my hair. So let's remove the clips, and all you're going to do, it's so simple, is you're going to take a little bit of hairspray. I like the Aussie Sprunch, and you're going to spray it into your hand, not into your hair, because you don't want stiff helmet head or anything like that, and you really want to work it through. So you're going to rub it into your hands, and I start underneath to get a little more body, and then I work through, and I gently break up the curls. Try to use your fingertips more than the palms of your hand, and just manipulate them a little bit. You can't really hurt this unless you go too rough and smash it around a lot. This is a hairstyle I do quite frequently. I get a lot of compliments on it. People ask me forever how I do it. So yeah, this one is quite pretty. It's nice and soft, especially for more casual. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so now that I'm done posing my butt off, let's move on to the next hairstyle. So I'm going to Hollywood glam this up a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a paddle brush or a soft brush, and you're gently going to brush your hair. You're not going to brush all the way through the tendrils. All you're going to do is shape your curls a little bit. Try to avoid brushing anywhere but on the ends. All I'm doing really is manipulating the hair to just look that much softer. You can do this with your fingertips as well and just get a nice smooth texture to it. This is a little bit more, like I said, the old Hollywood glam, and I just love this kind of look. I think it's very sophisticated. I think that it makes you feel a little more va-va-voom. Don't be afraid to move your hair around. My hair is a little bit fighting me a little bit, but it always does. That's just what my hair does. So once you get your hair kind of placed the way you like it, go ahead and, oh my goodness, all the fuss I'm doing. Okay, I think I just about like that side. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a pretty little bobby pin that I have. I'm going to section off a little bit of the side of my hair, give it a quick twist, and I'm going to pull it back. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a knot bubble in there to give it more interest and definition, because when that back part comes out, it's going to look a little bit different. So I'm going to take a diamond blingy style bobby pin. And yes, I use my teeth for this. Don't let my mother watch this, she'll kill me. I'm just going to place that really blingy bobby pin. You could do this with anything. You could do it with a hair comb. You can do it with anything you like to pin it back, or you could just use regular bobby pins if you don't want them to show. Then you're going to take the last little bit that was hanging down. You're just going to manipulate it a little bit so it blends in with the rest of your hair. And I think that this is just such a sweet hairstyle. It's fairly simple, very sleek and easy to do. It's one of my favorites, definitely to wear to parties. And especially with a little bit of bling in your hair, it just gives it that little va va boom. Okay, for the last one, we're going to go right from that Hollywood Glam, and we're going to switch it up just a little bit. So start by pushing your hair off all to the side. And you're just going to really brush it over and make it smooth. You don't want the part showing your hair at this point. The part actually kind of works against this hairstyle. So bring it all over to one side, smooth it down, and fuss with the curls again, because that's what I do. And you're just going to grab some bobby pins, if I can find them. There they are. So you're just going to grab some normal bobby pins that you use that match your hair color. And you're going to take the bobby pins and you're going to secure the back and sides of your hair so it stays on the side with that really sleek look. This is a really great look if you have an off the shoulder dress. So your hair would fall to the side that the shoulder is bare on, not the side with the strap, but the side that was bare, just to give it that little sexy peekaboo. This is simple to do, just the bobby pins just go into secure. If you get bobby pins that match your hair, which they sell all colors, then you don't really see them. And if anybody's looking that hard at your hair, then there's something wrong with them. Just pop the bobby pins in, and you'll see I have some fine baby hair there. I'm going to take care of that in a moment because it's not exactly attractive. So just take a little bit more bobby pin. Make sure that everything stays in place because you don't want to be rocking out and have your hair fall out. And grab a little bit of hairspray on your hand again or on a small toothbrush, unused toothbrush, and you're just going to smooth out those flyaways. Perfect for this look. And there you go. Just fuss with it a little bit to the point that you like it. And that's all. So these are my easy holiday looks. I hope you try them out and I hope they help you. Have a great Christmas, guys. Bye.